Thanks so much for joining us. Those that know me or have probably been watching the show for quite a while know I am in love with reading. I have quite a few books that I still have to get through. And every week we are given new pieces to add to our collection right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, this is a key one, probably for you. You need to stay close and listen to this. Flow Freely offers practical steps to understanding your body as a woman. Perfecta Osawaru is an alternative medicine practitioner. She's a women's health specialist. And even more key, she's into pain management. Yes, ladies, I said it, pain management. And she's put together this book. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Flow Freely is already a very interesting title. And then you go ahead and put a picture like this on it. So for those that can't see it or don't understand what is on the cover, it is a red feather on a panty liner. It's not exactly a sanitary towel, it's just a panty liner. And that is a very bold statement. Yeah. Why did you decide to go with that as the cover based on your specialty?
All right, thank you so much again. So when I was talking about the cover design with the graphic designer, I spoke to many ladies. I did like a survey. And so I asked them that if you want a book on menstruation, something to help you understand your body, what would, when you see the cover of the book, what would you see that this book would tell you that this is for me? So I told them the title was Flow Freely. And then some of them said if they saw a title Flow Freely, it could be flow through life freely. Okay. It could be flow through anything freely. Okay. But when it comes with that catchy image and the fact that menstruation is something that is oftentimes not spoken about, that it will grab their attention and they will know that that book is for them. And so that's why we took that.
Okay, so there are a lot of women who are probably increasing the volume of their TV sets right now because of the fact that we talked about this. They are going through a lot on a monthly, probably just believing that this is their lot in life. This is what God has basically just given them to deal with, and God will not give them anything more than they can handle, right?
Sure.
Let's talk about some of your patients, clients, maybe some of the stories that you've put together in here that made you put this together. What are the most common cases with women who need to read this kind of book?
Okay, so the most common cases with women is that generally they don't even understand what goes on in their bodies. Okay. So we're just literally bleeding every other month. They just feel like menstruation is just this free flow of blood every month and they just have to go through it. Okay. Another thing they deal with is the pain. So again, they feel like pain is normal and pain is not normal. Pain is not normal in any form because you can attest that as a lady, you know, some female don't experience this pain at all. They can't relate to what it is that you're going through. Whilst other female, they experience it and, you know, it's severe. So one of the common cases that I'm oftentimes faced with is the fact that women don't understand their bodies, they don't understand their menstrual cycle, and they deal with a lot of pain. Okay, so now can we actually go into what the cycle entails? We know that there's a certain number of days in the month that constitute a cycle. Yeah. Most women know that. They know that they're supposed to count the days of their cycle to a certain extent. But what exactly happens during that cycle? Right. Okay, so first we'll start with the counting. Okay. Now you said most women know. You know, a lot of women they have a date. Okay. January 5 it comes. Then the next month, February 5. Okay. They don't necessarily count it. Okay. They just have a date that they attach to it. So the first things first would be for them to actually calculate their cycle. So they are conversant with how many days that cycle length is. Am I bleeding for 28 days? Am I bleeding for, my cycle length rather, 28 days? Okay. Is it 30 days? Now, when they understand that, that's when they can move to the next phase, which is breaking down your menstrual cycle into the phases, into the 4 phases. Okay. Now, because if I have a 28-day cycle and another person has a 30 or 32-day cycle, our ovulation days will be different. Okay. So the first step is to understand your cycle length, and then you now break down that cycle length into phases. So you mentioned 4 phases. Yes. Okay, so I didn't think there were 4. I actually just thought there were 2 or maybe 2.5. Tell us what the 4 phases are. Okay, so the first one, day 1 to 5, isn't a 28-day cycle. That's your menstruation. Okay. Then after that, you go into the follicular phase. Okay. Right? And it commences typically 7 days after your period. Okay. And then you go to ovulation, which typically happens between day 12 or 14, depends on the cycle again. Okay. And then after that, the luteal phase. So those are 4 phases. Okay. Now, and if you want to understand anything at all, because menstruation is the one singular thing that differs us from the male gender,
yes.
right? So you need to understand that cycle and then what goes on in it.
Okay, so now I know we're going into some sort of semi-medical terms already. We're trying to avoid that and come back to the book. I do know that you've broken down most of this in your book.
Yes, I did.
And you've done it in a very concise way. How long did it take for you to put this together?
Okay, so I wrote every day for a month.
Okay.
2 hours, 2 hours every day for a month.
Okay.
But after that, I had to wait the next, for like 18 months to put it out. Because after I wrote, I had to do research and then, review and all of that.
So I know that most writers have someone they're writing for.
Yeah.
Was it someone in your family that was going through it? Was it someone, or was it actually yourself? Or did you just feel you needed to document all you'd learned?
It was myself.
Okay.
I had to deal with menstrual pain for over a decade.
Okay.
And it wasn't just the pain. It was the fact that I was losing productive and innovative time.
Okay.
And I was also nursing pains. And then I got tired because I had to, take pain relief medications upon pain relief medications.
Okay.
And I even resorted into getting injected for menstrual pain.
Wow.
It would typically knock me down.
Wow.
So having gotten solutions to it, and I saw many ladies experiencing this pain, again, that is not normal, that can be avoided, and then can even, like, when you avoid it, you can now maximize productive and innovative time.
Okay.
So I took it upon myself to, document about everything, and so that I can help to.
There was something you said a little bit earlier about the fact that basically a menstrual cycle is the only thing that makes us different from men. And now if I sort of delve into the corporate world and women in the workplace who are, should I use the word stigmatized in some cases, based on the fact that they're women, they're not given certain roles, based on the fact that maybe they've made some kind of complaint in the past about something happening during their cycle. They've not been able to move forward into achieving some of their career goals, so to speak. I do believe you touched a bit on that in your book.
I did.
So let's talk about how women, probably watching right now, can sort of deal with that mental strain.
Okay, the fact that what they go through is oftentimes making them not, get higher roles. I'd say that, first of all, they need to, whenever you're dealing with a problem, you have to reflect on what, when there's a problem, it is, what am I doing wrong, or why am I in this phase? Now, if they're dealing with anything that has to do with their bodies, that can be, that there's a solution for it. I would like them not to focus on so much on the fact that it is restricting them from attaining higher heights. Okay. And then they should focus on why the problem persists itself. Okay. So they have to reflect and then they make up for it so that you can better position yourself. All right.
I have to say a big thank you to you for putting this together. Thank you on behalf of so many women all around the world watching right now. You've put together your story and given some solutions in this book. Flow freely, practical steps to understanding your body and having a painless period. Yes, I will say it again, painless period. She went through something for a decade and now she's no longer going through it. And hopefully this message might just be for you. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me.
Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you have any questions or contributions, and we'll see if we can also respond. Stay with us. Let's take this quick break.